Another really good outing by Nick Pivetta on Friday night. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Goes to 6-2 on the year. Drops his ERA down to 2.74. Did a really nice job. Bullpen was solid. Jeremiah Estrada, Jason Adam, Robert Suarez, an inning and a third, 3 punch outs. We were talking on Friday. Actually, Thursday night, we did our live show on Thursday night. Robert Suarez, in his prior 4 innings, had only struck out 2. And the other night, on Friday, he came in and struck out 3 batters in an inning and a third, picked up his 18th save. So, pitching wise, Friday night was great. But the hitting, they had 3 hits. And really, this team is scuffling. And we're going to get into what they did in the month of May. Guys are not swinging the bat, aside from Manny and a rise a little bit, Gavin Sheets. The ball club not swinging the bat well. But Friday night, they had 2 hits. Luis Arraez, 6 inning RBI double. Also scored a run. Manny, 1 for 3. A double and a run scored. And in Jackson Merrill, 1 for 3, a couple of RBIs, a 4th inning single, a 6th inning fielder's choice RBI, but they had 3 hits. They were 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position and left only 2 guys on base. And, the Pittsburgh Pirates are not known right now for having these flamethrowers, but, Mitch Keller threw a good ball game. Mitch Keller 1-7 with the loss the other night, but his ERA at 3.73. He definitely deserves a better fate. But Padres not swinging the bat on Friday night. Now, Saturday night, I went to the game. I got invited, along with my wife, to the third level of the Western Metal Supply Company out there on the rail. Gary Mihalko, who's a doctor, who also works for Elite Security, and that's where I met him back in 2004 when I was, pretty much living at Petco Park. Gary was working for Elite Security. He still works for Elite Security, from time to time, but he's actually a doctor at Camp Pendleton. Him and his wife, Gemma, have a party, and they invite like 20 people a year. And Kelly and I have been very fortunate to be invited the last 4 years when he started the party. So we got there, about, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes before the game. Great crowd. It was sold out. But I'm going to tell you, so I found something out the other night. There were plenty of seats in the ballpark on Saturday night. The reason it was sold out is because people are out in Gallagher Square. There were a lot of empty seats at Petco Park on Saturday night. And I realize it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, but when I was a kid in San Diego, we used to always go to the Pirate games because they had dudes that could flat out hit. Now, that's a little bit different now. They're in last place in the National League Central, but, it's still got Andrew McCutchen. They got O'Neill Cruz and Iser kind of Falefa. I mean, they got some decent major league players. They just don't have enough pitching. But anyways, go to the game, and Pittsburgh just puts the hurt on the Padres. Padres have 2 hits. Bailey Falder was outstanding, left-hander for Pittsburgh. 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, a strikeout. Their bullpen was great. They shut the Padres out. And then there's a fight. And we're sitting in the Western Metal Supply Company, and down the right field line, a fight breaks out. And I don't know who started it. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm sure alcohol played a part in it. Now, this is the second time in the last 8 days we've had problems. You saw that 33 people were identified out at the San Diego FC game, and they were fighting over a flag or some nonsense. So they've gotten booted. They can't go to MLS games in San Diego or for the LA Galaxy. They're done for a while. They've been put in jail. I mean, these adults, what idiots. Total idiots. I don't care what you're arguing about. It's ridiculous, but I'm sure alcohol played a part in it. But the other night, you got one guy punching the other guy. They're Padre fans. One guy's got a Machado jersey on, the other's got a Tatis jersey on. And then you got other people that are in there trying to push and shove and talk, and you had people on the periphery popping off. I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's why families don't like to go to games. And if they do, they want to be in a section where they're not going to be a bunch of idiots drinking and popping off and swearing. But it was ridiculous. You got 2 Padre fans punching one another. And, I'm going to tell you something else. When the Chargers were here, and I know I'm going back in time here a little bit, but I used to always have a buddy that was with the San Diego Police Department. And I would always ask him after the Raider Charger game how it went. And more times than not, and I know, there are more Charger fans than there are Raider fans, but he would tell me there were more Charger fans getting arrested than there were Raider fans. Uh, Year by year by year. It wasn't always the case, but a lot of times there were more Charger fans being arrested than there were Raider fans. But what's going on at San Diego FC, and I've heard the element there has not been good from a lot of people, and they say they really wouldn't want to take their kids down there, and they also are a little concerned about their own safety. That's not a good rep to get, especially in the first year of the franchise. And I know they're talking about, we're going to make this safe. We're going to have more security. That's great. But you got to weed these people out. And in San Diego FC, to their credit, they've identified 33 folks, and they're out. Now, how would you like to have been one of those guys on the front page of the paper last week in that whole group? And then we see what happened at the Padre game the other night. We know when the Padres Dodgers look up, that's going to happen. But you got a fight between two Padre fans when Pittsburgh and the Padres are playing. Come on. We're better than that, aren't we? We got to be better than that. But anyways, it had to have been one of the most boring baseball games I've been to in decades the other night. The Padres did squat against Bailey Falter and the relief corps of Pittsburgh. They were out hit 12-2. They were 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, and they had nothing. Taking a look, Dylan Cease, mixed bag. There were times where he pitched well. There were other times he didn't pitch very well at all. 4 2/3, 95 pitches in 4 2/3. That's not going to get it done. 7 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. Served up that home run to Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen had a good series. He had 2 home runs. Hit another one yesterday. But Dylan Cease now 1-4 in a 4.66. And I don't want anybody to ask me again, well, who would you sign, Michael King or Dylan Cease? Michael King. But I'm not real happy with King either. And I'm going to tell you why here in a few minutes. The bullpen the other night, Sean Reynolds in inning 2/3, great. Yuki Matsui couldn't get anybody out. He faced 4 batters, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Bradley Rodriguez. Now, this was probably the high point of the night. Bringing this 21-year-old kid in, Bradley Rodriguez, making his major league debut, and all he does, first batter, he gets him to hit a comebacker for a 1-4-3 inning-ending double play. And then he went out there and threw another shutout inning. Looked really good, hard thrower, live body, live arm. Very impressed with him. And then Walty Peralta came in, an inning, 1 hit and a strikeout. Padres offense that night, Fernando led off the game with an infield hit in the first inning. He stole his 10th base. And the only other hit, single by Martin Maldonado in the 3rd inning with 1 out up the middle. Ground ball base hit. That was Padre offense. And Jackson Merrill hit 1 ball that would have scored a run, but the left fielder made a great diving catch to end the inning. But that was the Padre offense on Saturday night. Just a pathetic performance, quite frankly. And then yesterday, they're down 4-1. They come back, a run in the 6th, 4 more in the 7th. Pittsburgh relievers helped them out with 4 walks in the 7th. It wasn't like the Padres were pounding the ball. They out-hit the Buccos yesterday 8-7. They were 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position, which is good. Randy Vasquez wasn't very good. 3 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, gives up 2 home runs. Gives up the home run to McCutchen, and then gives up an opposite field home run to Adam Frazier when Gavin Sheets put his face into the pad out there, almost knocked himself out. And he's listed day to day. He's got a sore hip, he got a sore thumb and hand, and face contusion. I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, I know he has not played a lot of outfield, but man, you got to kind of know where you're at. I mean, he left a big face plant in that mat in left field. Now, I don't know if he's going to play tonight. I would hope he could play. They're walking off the field smiling. And I know they got to check him for a concussion. But I got to tell you, And this is not a knock on Gavin Sheets or really anybody, but a lot of the guys down, they come out of games when you're going, God, can they stay in? And I saw that last week. Guy got hit, and he got to first base, and he was fine. It wasn't a Padre; it was another game. And they take the guy out of the game, for precautionary reasons. Man, the old days, you had to break a leg, and I mean, you might have a broken leg, and you're still playing. It was just different. But Gavin, see, hopefully he can play. I got to tell you, the Padres, they open up tonight in San Francisco, a game one of a 4-game series, then on to Milwaukee, and then home to the Dodgers, and then over to Arizona, then up to LA. I mean, we're going to know in the next 2.5 weeks, we're going to know if the Padres are really in it to win it for the division. And I will tell you this, I don't think the Padres are playing great baseball right now like they were in April. They did not have a great May. They were 13-13 in the month of May. But I'll tell you what, as good as the Dodgers have been, and the Dodgers, they took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. And they came back on Max Street on Friday night. They pulverized the Yankees 18-2 on Saturday and then got beat last night. Yamamoto just didn't have it. The Yankees got one. But as good as the Dodgers have played, and some of the starts that they've had, I know Mookie's out right now with a broken left toe. He's hoping to come back on Tuesday. Padres were only 2 games out. And the Dodgers have been playing pretty good. And the Padres have really kind of been staggering around for about 30 days now. I mean, they were 13-13 in the month of May. They're off to a 1-0 start now in the month of June. But getting to yesterday's game, they came back, good comeback win. Bullpen was good yesterday. Wandy Peralta, inning and 2/3. David Morgan, who I like. I know he gave up that 3-run homer last week when he came in, but I like the way this guy's. We got a great breaking ball. He won an inning and 2/3. One hit a couple of punch outs. Adrian Morejon vultured the victory yesterday. He faced one batter, a third of an inning. He got the win. Record now 3-2. Jason Adam and then Robert Suarez came in. Couple of punch outs. Really looked good. Changeup looked good yesterday. Fastball looked good. Hitting his spots. Went the 1 inning with 2 punch outs. 19th save. Offensively, Fernando, another rough day, 0 for 3. Did walk, did score a run, averaged down to 265. Luis Ariz, 2 for 4, his 11th double, an RBI, a run scored. Manny, a homer, a sac fly, got 7 dingers now. Jackson Merrill, a solid game, 2 for 3, a walk, his 8th double, an RBI. Tyler Wade, little comebacker that got away from the Pittsburgh pitcher. Got an RBI and an infield single. Bogart's 1 for 3. Bogarts doesn't look good at the plate. He's waving at pitches, letting go with that top hand. Swing doesn't look good right now. So the Padres, they take 2 out of 3 from the Buccos. And, they're off to San Francisco.